Hi crafters! Today I'm going to show you how to make these super cute Tootsie Pop Wrappers, which is basically a gift box for a simple Tootsie Roll Pop Sucker. And now I use the Witch's Brew Designer Series paper to make mine because I made a bunch of these. These are going to go to my son's school for each of his classmates because they're going to have a fall Halloween party. But you could make these with any other theme in mind. I mean, you could make these as like little Christmas gifts, make a bunch of these for like favors for a birthday party, or maybe even a favor for a bridal or a baby shower, just by changing up the theme of your your decorations, your papers, and Stampin' Up! Offers a variety of different types of paper packs, pretty much to fit every theme, holiday, you name it. But you want to know how to make these, so let's get started. Okay, the first thing you're going to need to do is cut a piece of cardstock that measures 3 3/4 inches wide. So I'm going to make that first cut now. And I'm just using some inexpensive, cheapy cardstock because I don't want to, just for this demonstration, because I don't want to waste my good cardstock. And a lot of the pattern paper, it might be hard for you to see the score lines and such on camera, so that's why I'm using this. I thought it might be a little bit easier for you to see. And then the length of this is going to be 7 1/4. So we've got 3 3/4 by 7 1/4. And then we're going to begin scoring. Now to use the cutting scoring, the trimmer, Stampin' Up! Trimmer, I'm going to put this left side, I'm scoring first on the long side of the cardstock, and I'm going to put that on the one and the left side on the 1 1/4 inch line, and I'm going to score that. Turn it around and do the same thing with the other side. Okay, then on the narrow side, we'll put the long side along the top. Then we're going to put the left side at the 2 inch line. Score that. And then this score line that you just made, we're going to put that right at the 1 1/4 line on the cutter. And then score there. Then that score line that I just made, slide that down, put that at the 2 inch mark, score that. Then the line I just made, put that one, line that up with the 1 1/4 inch mark and score. Okay. Okay, so here's my cardstock all scored. Now I drew in some pencil lines over my score lines. That way you'd be able to see my score lines a little bit better, easier on camera. Now here's my other template, and as you can see this section right here, we're going to cut this out. So I'm going to do that now. And on the other side too. Okay, now this first score line over from where I just trimmed off, I'm going to cut up to the first vertical score line. So I have a little flap here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now I have this. What I also want to do is, should have done first, is pre-fold all the score lines. So I'm going to do that real quickly. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold, I want to trim these down so that this flap is only 3/4 of an inch. And to do that, I'm going to fold all of this back put this score line right up against the 3/4 inch mark on the trimmer. Right there. And I can see that it lines up all the way down here along this line too. And then lay down my flap. Make sure it's up against the guides. And trim that off. And do the same thing with the other side. Okay, so I have these trimmed down, so now they're only 3/4 of an inch wide. And now I'm going to cut each of these score lines up to basically my horizontal score lines, cut up to the first vertical score line. And I do that with both of these lines right here. So I have these flaps. Turn it around, do the same thing. Okay, now I have all these flaps. Okay, so here is my cardstock now all cut, and as you can see the orientation, here's the top flap, and this would be the bottom of the box. I'm going to flip it over, and as you can see, these first two flaps over from where I trimmed off, these two flaps you want to put your sticky strip, which I did already. And now, as I flip it back over, I'm going to start from working from the bottom of the box towards the top. And one of these little flaps I'm going to pull in, fold in, take off the sticky strip, leave it up. I don't want it to stick to my table. Peel off sticky strip from the other side. And with these sides up, I want the flaps always to be on, that I taped, those flaps should always be on the inside of the box. So one side at a time, I'm just going to keep this flat, as I keep it flat on the table, just bring up my sides and press it against the tape. Like that. Now, I'm going to do the same thing here. Take off these strips here. Leave that up. Hold this one down for a minute so I can get my paper off of the sticky strip. And once again, I want the side with the tape to be on the inside of the box. So I'm just going to squeeze it together just a little bit, bring it up, line up my sides, and press. Okay, so there's my box. Now, the next thing I need to do is the top of the box. I need a hole for where the stick of the sucker can go through. So I'm just going to use a 1/4 inch hole punch, and right in the center of this top square, I'm going to punch a hole. Okay. Now, I find that it helps. These corners right here, these side flaps, I'm going to go down about 1/4 inch, and I'm going to make a cut right up to this corner. Basically, I'm just cutting out some notches. As you can see, I'm not measuring, it's just an eyeball. It's just about 1/4 inch down, maybe 3/8 tops. And just trim that out. There. Now, I just insert my sucker, and some of these suckers you may have to, the paper, you may have to push it down just a little bit, just so you can get it in the box. Put it through the hole. Tilt it in. Then bring in my side flaps first, and my top flap. And there it is. My completed little Tootsie Roll Pop box. Cute! So here are my finished Tootsie Pop wrappers. I used the Witch's Brew Designer Series paper to make the wrappers, and I must say, what a value I've gotten out of that paper pack. I've made so many different craft projects, and if you haven't seen them, check out some of my other videos where I've used this Witch's Brew Designer Series paper. I have one pack and I've gotten so many different projects out of it. Also, to decorate these wrappers, I added some pumpkin pie taffeta ribbon that coordinates with the Witch's Brew Designer Series paper pack. And then I've also used different varying stamps, once again from the Halloween Hello stamp set. And I embossed those designs with the black embossing powder, punched them out using the 1-inch circle punch, and then adhered those 1-inch circles to some basic black cardstock that was then punched out using the 1 1/4 scallop circle punch. So for full instructions, more pictures and shopping lists, don't forget to check out my blog, stampyourway.blogspot.com. And don't forget to subscribe to my blog and my YouTube channel so you won't miss another exciting episode of Stamp Your Way. Happy haunting!